Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. It is actually the 25th of March today. It wasn't yesterday. It was the 24th. It's 11 a.m., 10 o'clock if you're in the UK. I hope you're warm. I believe there is some kind of bad weather over there in the UK, or snow or something like that. I don't know. Maybe Keir Starmer's asked the snow gods to snow on you today. I hope you're all doing well wherever you are. We have a busy show and we have lots of stuff to talk about outside of the stream agenda, because lots of things happened when I was asleep, especially to do with the Kronos chain, especially to do with the Crow token, the ETF, the work that they're doing with Truth Central or whatever it's called. So there's a lot to add to the show. We're not going to mess around today. We're going to get straight into it. But before we do, of course, there's loads of people who are always here. The faithful. Maybe that's what we should call you guys, the Crypto Warehouse faithful. We've got KB, we've got Hidden, Jan, good morning. Mags is here, Tariq is here, Velvet Rope is here. I hope you are all doing incredibly well on this slightly bullish day. I think this is the third week of us slowly moving up, the third week of us not having to worry about going to 72,000, 74,000. Although I'm going to show you a chart today, which I showed you yesterday, the Bitcoin chart, and basically explain why it can still be a bullish move by Bitcoin yesterday, but it could also be a bearish move again. The show is called Rejection, and that's what the show is about today. If you remember what I said yesterday, we were going to go to a certain price, and that was a critical price for us to break. And what didn't we do? We didn't break it, and when we don't break it, it's called rejection. So we have a lot to get through. We're going to talk about strategy, as always. I'm going to tell you why I think they've won the race. I think we covered this a little bit yesterday. We're going to look at the World Liberty Finance stablecoin, which came out of nowhere. We're going to talk about XRP. And I mentioned yesterday that I have a $15,000 portfolio that I am trying to get to $1 million. And, of course, I need to stipulate all of that in that segment as well, because that's not one bull run, okay? Let's point that out there. We're also going to talk about Linkin Arc. My play on words, you just can't go anywhere and get any better than this. Then we're going to talk about Nillion, and then if we've got any time, some final thoughts. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Help us get to 250,000 subscribers. That's the next target for the show. And onwards and upwards. I am well today, Jan. What I'm going to try and not do today is cough. We've got through from the coffee episodes. Yesterday, I think I coughed once or twice. Today, I'm going to go for a full 1 hour without coughing, because whatever the Oracle brought back from Poland, he gave it me in the middle of January, and I've still got it. I don't know what he gave me. Right then, Bitcoin coming in at 87.2. Good price. Ethereum coming in still over $2,000, also positive. XRP is approaching the $2.50 mark. No real changes. It's a few gainers, a few losers. Solana is at 143. Cardano still under 80 cents. But this is where we need to talk before we go into too much of the show. Now, call me Fitzy-Dramus, okay? Forget Nostradamus. He predicted the end of the world. I predict crypto price action. We're two totally different people. I don't have the great beard that he has, but also I'm not insane, which is, some people would argue with that. And this is what I said a few days ago. And the reason I want to take you through this is very simply because I think that this is massively bullish. So, Crow Tuesday price predictions. I made this a few days ago, and those yellow arrows are the pumps that Crow has made traditionally when Chris Marszalek has his AMA. And you will notice that Crow will go to circa 10 cents because of the two pumps that we've had prior to that. We've got the alpha on the Kronos chain. Again, fairly obvious predictions, to be honest. It's like saying it's going to go dark at some point today and then the sun's going to rise at some point tomorrow. I know that. We didn't get the alpha on the stablecoin, but we're going to talk about World Liberty Finance in a minute on that, because Kronos Chain, they have the Mika application approved for their stablecoin. It's a lot of very bullish news that we need to throw in at the beginning. And the roadmap, again, Crow is going to be part of multiple ETFs, the Crow token. Now, based on all of that news, which we will probably cover in subsequent shows, Kronos is at 10.6 cents, exactly where I predicted it would go. Now, the news was slightly different to what I expected, but I still think it's going to do what it did on the last two occasions, which is run up. I think it got as high as 11 cents, and I'm expecting it to be 9.5 cents, 9 cents tomorrow. So what did I do this morning? I sold a big bag of Kronos that I'd been keeping to one side, basically my staking rewards and cashback. I've sold that, which pays for Mother's Day. And of course, Jan, if you're watching, you are not to tell Angela any of that. And of course, it's going to pay for the Oracle's birthday is on April the 9th. The Oracle, believe it or not, he ages. He is not timeless, okay? He is not somebody that lives for 10,000 years. He is, I believe, 20 on April the 9th. So thank you, Kronos, for that pump. Thank you, Chris, for that pump. Other gainers in the top few here. Movement is up. Ondo, again, is going to get back to $1 before you know it. And again, if you could pick up Ondo at 85 or 90 cents, that was a really good price. A few of the gainers, I would say that ASI at 56 cents is an absolute bargain, but I would say that because I hold it. Losers, not many. Casper is down. Hyper. Pi, again, I'm expecting Pi to dribble away over time. I certainly don't see it as a $6 billion project. Trump is going to start to give up the gains from Trump tweeting about it. And then, there's a few other losers there, but nothing really too major. If we go back up here, the volume, it's still below 100 billion. So even though we did have a bit of a pump yesterday, it wasn't super massive volumes. Bitcoin dominance hasn't really changed, and ETH dominance is still half of what it was a year and a bit ago. So markets are looking okay. Markets looking pretty good. The biggest news, of course, is to do with Kronos. There's a lot to talk about in that. I'm probably going to make a video about it rather than take up an entire stream. Suffice to say, there's lots of bullish news coming out of the Kronos chain, and especially the Crow token. So if you've held the Crow token like I have, that is bullish news for you. Now, just to put things into context, we always talk about the macro. We always talk about everything else. We always talk about the fact that when the stock market goes down in America, so does crypto. Well, guess what? 1.35 trillion has been added back to the stock market. They're your gainers. Nvidia is up. Amazon, Apple, the usual suspects are up. But again, recency bias. Just remember where we are. Remember where we are in the cycle. Remember where we are in the time of year that we're in. And also remember that this is only reclaiming some of the losses that we had over the last few weeks with Trump calling out the tariff wars against Canada, Mexico, the EU, people like that. So it's good. It's green. We want it to stay green. But just remember where we are. If I took £100 off you to your face and waved it in your face and then ran off with it, and then 3 days later I gave you £80 back, you'd probably be fairly relieved that you got your £80 back from me. But you're still 20 quid short, okay? That's the way I see these kinds of moves. If you give up 40% and you gain 50%, or you gain 25%, whatever it might be back, Ondo is below $1. Bitcoin is below $90,000. Ethereum is below $2,500. These are good recoveries, but that's all they are. They're a partial recovery. If you break your leg and then you get your leg reset, you can't go and sprint a 12-second 100 meters straight away, can you? You need to recover. Now, again, this is more bullish news. These things over time don't have a massive impact. When China banned crypto for the 67th time, it stopped having an effect on the market. Then they banned crypto mining. That caused people to move crypto mining to Kazakhstan and places like that. China is actively preparing to shift into Bitcoin and crypto. Hong Kong is a conduit for China. And what I mean by that is, it's like a funnel for China. Chinese families that want to invest in crypto have been doing so all along through Hong Kong, okay? That's just the way it is. It's not China has completely turned off crypto. China's turned off crypto for the man in the street. We talked about Russia the other day, and Russia was going to allow you to buy into crypto, but only if you were worth $1 million. That's how it works in China. That's how it works around the world. If you don't have the money, you can't invest in the stock market. You can't invest here. You can't invest there. And that is one of the bonuses to crypto, is the fact that once it's legal, you watching this can go and buy synthetic gold, synthetic stocks. You can buy Satoshis. You can buy Ethereum. You can buy Solana, and nobody can stop you. And that is one of the beauty. One of the bits of beauty about crypto is that it becomes frictionless. At the minute, you want to go and buy BlackRock ETFs. You go into your bank, they won't sell it to you. You phone up an investment advisor, will say, certainly, but our minimum is $50,000. You don't have $50,000, you can't buy it. You then might go and try and buy it through Vanguard. Vanguard doesn't sell it because Vanguard has a gated community where it only sells its own products. So you're stuck, and rich people win. And much as I don't like Gary Stevenson, I can't stand the guy. I think he's a false prophet. I think there is a case to be made for crypto solving this problem of excluding people who don't have the right number in their bank account. And this, once China allows its residents to hold crypto, then we are going to see a pump. But believe you me, this isn't going to send us to $1 million Bitcoin. This is going to go where China starts to buy Bitcoin. Then it allows rich people to buy Bitcoin. And then maybe in 5 years' time, when they've got their fill, they'll allow everybody to buy Bitcoin. But at least the iceberg is thawing. Tether reports $7.7 billion profit over the past 9 months. Who are Tether? They are the biggest, if I show you, they are the biggest stable coin in the market. What is a stable coin? It's a dollar in crypto that represents a dollar in a bank account in America. It's pegged $1 to $1. They have $143 billion market cap. They have made $7.7 billion in profit out of that money. Okay. Now you might ask yourself, how could it possibly make money out of a dollar? Because of their investments they make. Very simply put, if they invest in US Treasuries and they get 4% on that, that is what? That's about 6 billion just in profits on investing in that. And of course, it's safe because it's US Treasuries. So just because it's a stable coin, it makes money by investing the money. And then that money, what Tether has been doing for the last 12, 18 months, they've been buying Bitcoin with it. And guess what? That price of Bitcoin has been going up dramatically. So Tether is a unicorn in not just crypto terms, but in general terms. It's a massive, massive whale. It's making probably almost $10 billion a year in profit. You work out how many Bitcoin you can get for that. What, 100,000 Bitcoin nearly? 110,000 Bitcoin? A lot of Bitcoin. Let's move on very quickly. Your lips are sealed, Jan. Good. That is good to know. We don't want her finding out. Right then. This isn't a MAGA post or anything to do with that. Eleanor Terrett. We follow her a lot on X. She is one of the most reliable sources of crypto information. You recognize her. I cover her all the time. She is a Brit abroad. And as you know, I am British, Irish descent, British, and I always try and champion the Brits. And she is one of the big ones. She's one of the big crypto people now. And they have launched their own podcast, Crypto in America. Believe it or not, it got banned by Musk, which I found quite ironic, and it's now been freed. So if you want to go and listen to Hester Peirce and what she has to say about crypto, that's the first guest on Crypto in America. It might be worth listening to. I haven't heard it yet. I am going to tune in and see what it's like, and just see, whether it's all it's cracked up to be. Some of these podcasts, they tend to be contentious just for the sake of being contentious. You'll have somebody saying, I like ham sandwiches. And then the other person will say, what, you don't like tuna? Why don't you like tuna? What's wrong with fish? Are you fishist? And that's what these podcasts are. Somebody said once, microphones should cost $50,000 each. And you know what? That stuck with me, because I do believe that is true. And I'm sure many of you out there believe that if it was $50,000, then that would keep me from talking on the internet. But I get the point. There are too many people who think that setting up a podcast is the way to fame and glory, and it's not. And some people's voices should not be heard. Just because you have a microphone, just because you have a social media account, it doesn't mean that your voice should be heard, because you probably don't know what you're talking about. Now then, Bitcoin buy pressure builds at 87,000, is 95,000 Bitcoin, is Bitcoin's next stop. Now, I covered this yesterday. And again, as I keep saying to you, I'm not a trader, and I don't profess to be a trader. I read the charts in my own old-fashioned way, where I look at lines and patterns. The Oracle, who streamed last night, he is the trader. He is the one that does the charts. But I pointed out where I said Bitcoin was going to struggle yesterday, posted it into Telegram last night as well, and we're going to go through that after this. 95,000, I'm not sure where that number's been pulled from. I've got 92.5, I think. But we'll have a look at it. So Bitcoin's aggressive sell pressure has faded. And again, I've said this to you time and time again. Nothing goes up forever. Nothing goes down forever, because the bears and the bulls get tired. Now, there isn't a group of traders who are bears, and there isn't a group of traders that are bulls. They're the same traders. And they trade off emotion and narratives and market data. And if they think that the market is due to go up, they push the price up. Or they try and push the price up. If they think the market is overbought, it's overheating, they will bet against the market and push the price down. And it's this constant battle between short squeezes and people thinking the price is going to go down, and long squeezes and people thinking the price is going to go up. And it's just this constant battle between traders. But if we keep going down and down and down and down and down, eventually the bears get tired. And like a balloon being pushed further and further underwater, they'll let go of the balloon and it comes back up to probably a more realistic price. Because if you're overbought, it means the price is too high. And if you're oversold, it means the price is too low. And we need to find the fair value, or whatever you want to call it, of the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin has got some strength back, and it's not just in the last 24 hours. It's been building for a few weeks. We've slowly worked our way back up from the bottom of the channel, as I showed you yesterday. I'm going to show you again in a minute. The cumulative figure has moved back into positive territory. This transition suggests that aggressive buyers have started dominating the market again after weeks of heavy sell-side control. Historical patterns indicate that every time this metric shifts from negative to positive, and that negative is the Bitcoin's cumulative net taker volume. Again, people need catchier titles, don't they? They need catchier titles. KFC rolls off the tongue better than BC NTV, doesn't it? It's ridiculous. The most recent uptick, along with Bitcoin's ongoing recovery from sub 80 levels to over 87k. Again, we don't need to talk about these too much. I want to show you the Bitcoin chart. The positives are that there now appears to be a move to the upside. The negative in me, and I always try and have a fair balance being a Libran, is that we've come up against the resistance that I expected us to come up against. And that, of course, is a sign that we could get rejected, as the title of the show is, and we could start to move down. But again, everybody talks in finalities these days, and we're not in finalities. Finalities are things that the media push, and then idiots have started to promote on social media. Good morning, Solo Sky. Good morning, Danny. Good morning, Mags. KB does rock. Brogan does rock. Now, I've zoomed in a lot on this. This is the 8 hour. Now, we have lots of things to be bullish about, okay? Lots of things to be bullish about. But the one thing I said to you yesterday was this. Let me bring this up a second. See that? Look at that. I am like the Darren Brown of crypto. The Darren Brown of crypto. You go back and watch this stream from yesterday and you look at that white line. And that white line is the bottom of the bull market support band, the moving average price of Bitcoin. And it is coming in. I'm probably not going to be able to zoom all the way in. Okay? But I think that is as close as damn it to bouncing off that line. So Nostradamus, nothing on me. Fitzydamus predicted the price of Crow 2 days ago. He's also told you where we were going to get rejected off, which is the bottom of the bull market support band. And if you remember, I said that the next thing after this is we need to get our bums above that line there, which is coming in at 94.3 maybe. And that's a long way off, okay? Now, the one thing to bear in mind about this, and this is where the problem is with finalities, is people think that once something gets rejected or it bounces, it's over. But you can see here, when we get rejected off this line, we come down. When we get rejected off this line, we come down. We come into the bull market support band, we come down. But then what happens over a period of time is we gather our forces again for another run at the bull market support band, or whatever price is against us. We have another run at it. It's like trying to break down a door. You see on those cop shows where they get that big lump of metal and they just bash it against the door. I think they'd have more sense if they used Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer would go straight through that door, but they have to use metal because there's only one Keir Starmer. Thankfully, there's only one Keir Starmer. Now, the key here is, when we are down here, it's like we're trapped under a sheet of ice. We talked about it before. Remember the Omen, where the person falls under the sheet of ice and they can't break out and they can't break the ice? That's what it's like. You get stuck under this bull market support band and you can't break out. And then when we do break out, what happens is we have these massive, great big, beautiful pumps to the upside. So, whilst many of you will think that I am mad for suggesting that we're going to have an all-time high in April, I'm not saying it as fact, I'm saying it as a pretty possibility. If we do come down again and we have another run and we do that, that's the direction we could go in. We, of course, can come down here. This isn't off the table. It's still in our channel. 74,000 hasn't gone anywhere. It's still there. And if you look at what's happened before, we've been here before. We've been here before. So where is the next logical move? Is this. Okay? So recency bias is, we're at 106,000. We drop to 80,000 and then we recover to 87,000 and everybody thinks the bull market is still on. Well, the bull market never went away. The bull market never went away because of a correction. So what I'm saying is, yes, today, with a bit of bullish news, we can break. And then the next thing we need to get above is 94. Fib level here is coming at 91.4, but we'll forget that for now. 94,000 is the target that we have to get above. And then hold. But for now, 88,440, that's the line we have to break. And we have broken it before. It's not like we're making these things up. We did break once there, and then we faded there, and we've come down. And I think this is a nice kind of channel that we've built ourselves here. If you look at that, that is really nice. And again, if we get stuck in this, then maybe we do break out. You know, maybe we break out or we retest it again today, tomorrow, Friday, next week. But, you know, we're not in a bad position. We're in a better position than we were. I still think we've now got maybe a 60%, 70% chance of a move up. I think we've probably got a 90% chance that we don't break 80,000, which is coming in about there. And if you look at that pattern there, we came down to, and we've bounced off 80 there, and we bounced off 80 there. Then we did a little bit of a test, and now we've come back up. So 80,000 is holding us strong. And now we need to get above 88, 88 and a half. And that's the next thing we need to do. But again, if you're buying Bitcoin and you're going to hold it for the next 10 years, everything I'm saying is irrelevant because you just keep buying it. Buy £10 a week, $10 a week. You do that for the rest of your working life. In the next 20 years, if you're going to retire, you're going to have a massive nest egg. And 10 quid a week is what? 3 coffees? 2 coffees? I don't know. Not many coffees. Just give up, have coffee at home, put that money into Bitcoin. That's your safest bet, in my opinion. And it's, of course, I'm never going to say this, but it's not financial advice. Nothing I say on here is financial advice. It's just my opinion. The same way that other people will tell you that we're going to go to $1 trillion, okay? Per Bitcoin. It's just their opinion as well. Right then, second bit of bullish news. Strategy has now crossed 500,000 Bitcoin after its latest acquisition. They bought another 6,900 Bitcoin in the past week, crossing over the important milestone. They paid $584 million, holding 500,000. The company achieved a yield of 7.7% year to date, and we are only at the end of March. And that is a big number for TradFi. Let's bear that in mind. That's a big number for TradFi. It's not a big number for your cat riding a dog with a knife coin, but it's a big number for traditional finance. A Polymarket poll suggests Bitcoin will hit 110,000 in 2025, though confidence in surpassing that level is lower. My target is, I believe it was 140. My very, very, very original target from 2 years ago was, I think, 111,000, but I think we're going to go higher than that this year. Master has acquired the 6,900. They've paid 84,500 per Bitcoin for it, which is not bad. And their average price that they have paid is 66,608. Wouldn't it be nice if they bought a few more Bitcoin to get that to 66,666 and then stopped? That would be great. The purchase highlighted in this March 24 filing with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission comes one day after he suggested another Bitcoin acquisition could be on the horizon. I do believe that they are planning to buy $21 billion more. That, I think, is the plan later on. And again, Saylor is, we don't have to talk through all of this, but Saylor is massively bullish on Bitcoin. He's talking about $440,000. I wouldn't listen to that personally. I think that's massively excessive for the price of Bitcoin. Certainly in the next 6, 7, 8 months, we're not going to get anywhere near that. But he is massively bullish. And who's to blame him? If you owned 500,000 Bitcoin, you'd have to be bullish, wouldn't you? You couldn't turn around and say this is a Ponzi scheme or an absolute scam. You've got to back it. Right then, just give me 1 second. What I'm going to do is very quickly, I'm going to reset the browser again because the latest update to whichever browser, in fact, I can just go here, can't I? There we go. Look at that. You've got me now. Just give me a second. I'm going to restart Microsoft or Firefox, whichever one I'm using, and then hopefully that will do the trick. There we go. I think we've done it. There we go. I am back. Fantastic. Let's get the stream back up. So again, Saylor, 500,000 Bitcoin. I don't think he's going to be caught. I said this yesterday. It's a massive massive ask to get any individual company anywhere near 500,000 Bitcoin. The BlackRocks, yes, the BlackRocks are going to end up with 1 million. The American government will probably end up with 1 million. They've already got 200,000. So yes, they will be the people that will compete with Michael Saylor. But as a standalone enterprise, I don't know anyone that's going to be able to hold that many Bitcoin. You know, maybe Musk could go after it. But if they start buying now, all that's going to do is push the price up. And if you try and take 500,000 Bitcoin out of the market, you're just going to absolutely send it to the moon. Right then, this is another one of these left field approaches. World Liberty Financial is Trump's business. That's what it is. We've covered it before. I've made videos about it. I've given you a link to their portfolio. Go and check out World Liberty Financial. I don't hold any of their tokens, by the way, but when the entire family of the leader of the free world has a company, you can bet your bottom dollar that that company is going to make money hand over fist, because this man here is going to be billions and billions of dollars richer by the end of his 4-year term than he is today. But not only that, he is going to create generational wealth for the entire bloodline of Trump. It's going to take decades, if not centuries, to get through the amount of money that he is going to make for his family. If you thought that this man was going to win the election and come in like Robin Hood and save the day and tell us all about UFOs and JFK and whatever other conspiracy theories there are, and not make a few quid along the way, I don't know where you were. We've got one end of the stick with Kamala. God knows what would have happened with Kamala. The other end of the stick is Trump. And what you really want is somebody in the middle to actually do something positive. But I'm not saying he's not positive. I'm saying you can't not expect him to make an awful lot of money while he's there. That's what he's always made money. Whether he's the president of America or not, he's always going to try and make money. So they have created a dollar-pegged stablecoin. The fund is preparing for the new asset, which will be part of its DeFi strategy. Now, this is all kind of connected up in a pay back your buddies kind of way. So look who is getting payback at the minute. XRP is getting payback. They're getting payback. They're going to be involved in the stablecoin legislation. They're going to get whatever they need. They're going to do an IPO. Who else backed Trump? Chris Marszalek backed Trump. What did Chris Marszalek get yesterday? He got the exclusive rights to add Crow to all of the ETFs that are going to be launched through World Liberty Finance, number one. And number two, they're going to use the Crypto.com platform to promote those. That's payback for him. Who else is getting payback? Well, Binance had a 10% investment, and suddenly World Liberty Finance is launching a stablecoin on the BNB Smart Chain. Would you believe that? I mean, come on. It's got to be an absolute coincidence when Trump's family launch a coin on BNB and there is CZ welcoming him with open arms. All I'll say to CZ is I hope the handcuff marks have gone off your wrists before you shook hands with him, because he wouldn't want to think that you were any kind of criminal mastermind now, would you? So CZ confirmed the stablecoin's issuer. It's called USD1. It's on the BNB Smart Chain. Ask yourself a question. Why is it on the BNB Smart Chain? Why is it there? World Liberty Finance do everything on Ethereum. This has been launched on the BNB Smart Chain. What's coming up next? The stablecoin will use the USD1 ticker for both versions. This is, of course, on Ethereum and BNB. The BSC and the Ethereum version have a supply of 3.5 million. Again, that's irrelevant for now. The Ethereum version has been tested by Wintermute. The stablecoin has been moved between large-scale whale wallets in preparation for more activities. The discovery of the stablecoin follows a day of increased buying activity for World Liberty Financial. They expanded their portfolio to $88 million, which again is not a lot in the grand scheme of things. Believe you me, in 4 years' time, that's going to be billions and billions of dollars. Now, the question is, where do we go from here? We've got World Liberty Financial buying everything on Ethereum. We've then got the launch of a stablecoin that's going to work on Ethereum in BNB. We don't know anything about BNB yet. What we do know is Chris Marszalek, they're also going to have a stable coin, which is called something like USD1C1 or something along those lines. They're going to have their own stable coin. Is there going to be a crossover between Binance and Crypto.com? Is there going to be a crossover where this stablecoin is running on BNB, Ethereum, and Kronos Chain? Is it going to be running on Solana? Is it all going to run on everything, which is more than likely the case? So keep an eye on this, because I think this is the next thing that they're going to work on. If they're about to issue stablecoin legislation in the White House in about a month or two's time, and World Liberty Financial, which is owned by the Trump family, suddenly issue their own stablecoin, does nobody think that's a coincidence? Does nobody out there look at that and go, oh, they've made a stablecoin? That's good, isn't it? Or is there something else that we're missing that involves XRP, that involves Binance, that involves Crypto.com? What's the missing link that we're not being told? Because clearly we're starting to see more and more of the picture, and World Liberty Financial are clearly in the middle of this, trying to get their paws onto as much of the liquidity and revenue as possible. Right, XRP is primed for a $4 run, but traders warn of potential fake outs. Again, if you'd have told me this 12 months ago, I would have said these were very optimistic price targets for XRP. When we were back at 30, 40, 50 cents, again, go back and look at some of the old videos. The price targets I had for XRP around about now was about $1.50. The market changes and targets change and everything changes on a daily basis. Crow token pumped 30% on the news that it's going to be part and parcel of an ETF or all ETFs through World Liberty Financial. Does that pump warrant investment in the Crow token? Maybe, maybe not. XRP is a different kettle of fish. Brad Garlinghouse is literally sitting next to Donald Trump. And you've heard of the auto pen, where they got Biden to write all of the signatures with a pen, with an automated pen. Well, you haven't got an auto pen with Trump. You've got a Brad pen. And Brad is going to say, listen, Donald, just sign that piece of paper right there. That's it. Just put a big X there. That's it. Perfect, Donald. Off we go. This is a great idea for America, Donald. Off you go. Because Brad is the man at the minute. So you can't back against XRP when you've got Brad. And Brad and Donald are like that. They are like bosom buddies. So do I think we could hit $4 on XRP in the next 6 weeks? Yes, I do. I still think that $10 is the top price of XRP this bull run. I think 7 is my realistic target. But 4 is what, 60% from where we are now. If there is an announcement with the Ripple stablecoin and something to do with the American government, or something to do with stablecoin legislation, where they create the Stablecoin Council that's got Tether, Circle, XRP, Crypto.com, Binance, whoever else on it, all of those coins are going to go up in value because they will be the chosen ones. They will be 6 Luke Skywalkers. That's what's going to happen. Oh, not Luke Skywalker. What other guy? Darth Vader. That's him. So, XRP sitting at the $2.50 mark, happily sitting there, just below $2.50, sorry. Cardano sitting below 75 cents, below 80 cents. Those two coins are in some way, shape or form more or less involved with the American government. And there are going to be multiple coins with the American government. But one bit of news about Cardano, it goes to $1.10. One bit of news about XRP, it goes to $3. And then $4 isn't too far away. That's the way I see it with XRP. Volume must confirm any breakout. One IM Poet wrote, otherwise we'll risk a fake out and a trap scenario. Again, the one thing to bear in mind about a lot of these targets is if Bitcoin goes to 74,000, everything gets wiped out. Everything comes down 30%. So Solana will break $100. Probably XRP will go to $1.50. Cardano will probably break 50 cents. Because Bitcoin needs to build this momentum and get back above some of these targets. So although we can see a $4 XRP, we can see a $1 Cardano, we can see $150, $200 Solana. Nothing really matters if Bitcoin goes to $74,000. That's why we talk about Bitcoin so much at the start of the show, because that's what matters. If we don't get that breakout of 88.5 and we do come down to 80,000, then we're going to see a $1.90, $1.50 XRP, and everything else is going to follow suit. So it's one of those things. We can talk about these price targets, and yes, these are really good price targets, but if Bitcoin wets the bed, they do more than wet the bed. Okay, they do way more than wet the bed. I've walked down an alleyway I need to get out of very quickly, so let's change the subject. Right then, let's hope this brings up what I'm expecting it to bring up. Right then, so this is something I was going to make a video about yesterday, and I really couldn't be bothered because I don't think it's that important that it requires a video. I know on January the 15th, 2023, I created a $15,000 to $1 million portfolio, and I did it for people just coming to crypto, not a degen portfolio, but a portfolio of assets for people that if they were going to buy crypto today and they were going to buy into it today, what would I suggest that we did? Now, the target for this bull run is $100,000. Okay, the $1 million is for the next 3 bull runs. So November 2025, November 2029, November 2033, if we ever see a bull run like that ever again. And the premise was that we were going to buy this and not sell anything in this portfolio. We were just going to sit on it and not move. Now, over the last year, this topped out at $52,000. So we almost got, well, we got more than halfway towards our first target. But so far, in 2 years, we've turned $15,000 into $39,000. Okay, so we've made a profit of $23,500 almost. And this is the portfolio that we set up 2 years ago. Now, 2020 hindsight, before any of you begin, 2020 hindsight is a wonderful thing. And some of these coins have outperformed others, but that's the entire point of a portfolio. Okay, put all your money into Litecoin and it doesn't get an ETF. What happens? Price gets suppressed. You don't make any money. Put all of your money into XRP and the keys to the American government get given to XRP and XRP goes to $25. You're rich. What are the chances of either of those things happening 2 years out? You don't know. We didn't know that we were going to get a Bitcoin strategic reserve 2 years ago. So the point of it is, you can't quite see. If I don't know how I'm going to do this. If I make this a bit smaller, you might be able to see the coins. Ah, there we go. You can't quite see the profit and loss. Never mind. Right, I'll just talk you through the profit and loss. So basically, I got Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, Cardano, Chainlink, ICP, Algorand, and Polygon. That was my pick. Now, what has done the best? XRP is up 500% from that purchase. Then we have Bitcoin nearly 300% up since that purchase. Cardano is up 120%. Chainlink is up 125%. These are big moves. Ethereum, even though it's been in the doldrums, is still up 25%. Not a bad return for 2 years. ICP, which had a massive run up, I think it got up as high as about $12 or $15, that's up 10%. And the worst two are Algorand and Polygon. Algorand is down 11%, Polygon is down 77%. Now, the other thing about this portfolio is it's weighted, which means there is more in Bitcoin and Ethereum than in Polygon and Matic. I believe Polygon and Algorand had about 5% of this portfolio each, something like that. Bitcoin, I think, I'm trying to work it out now. I think Bitcoin probably had about 30, would it have had? I think Bitcoin was about 30% of the portfolio, something like that. So the reason I'm showing you this is, even though we've had a coin go down 77% and a coin go down 11%, others are up 500, 300, 120, 125, 25%. We've had some really good gains on this portfolio. In fact, you can see here, we're up $23,777 on that portfolio. Now, we've been making these videos very infrequently, but we have been making videos about this portfolio. And I still believe at this moment in time, that's got a chance of getting somewhere near $100,000. And the plan with this portfolio is simple. We sell what we consider to be the top of this portfolio. Now, that might come in July, August, if I've got the timing wrong. It might come in November when I think it's going to happen. And I'm going to sell out of this portfolio. If I can get anywhere near $100,000 for this portfolio, if I can get to $75,000 for this portfolio, then we have 5x'd our money in a very conservative portfolio. And that's the thing to bear in mind. As I said before, we could have gone for a completely different strategy and probably done far better. But this wasn't meant to do anything other than show you that Joe Bloggs in the street can buy this and maybe put $150 or $1,500 into this portfolio and walk away with $7,500 or $750 or whatever they can afford. It was never meant to be a massive blow off top. Let's go after all the 50 to 100x gainers. It was meant to show you, even if you back the biggest horses, Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, Cardano, Chainlink, even if you back them, you are going to be up massively on what you invested. So that's the portfolio. If you want a video about it, or you want me to keep doing videos about it or mentioning it in the streams from time to time, I'll keep having a look at it for you. But that was something I wanted to include. And again, I sat down, I had the chart up in front of me, I had the camera set up to record the video, and I went, I wouldn't even watch this video. So I didn't make it. And I've included it in the stream today so you can see. Right then. Chainlink and ADGM cooperate to support tokenization projects in the UAE. Again, Chainlink announced yesterday that they had processed $20 trillion through their system. Now, that's irrelevant. What is relevant is they take a microtransaction off everything that goes through them, and they make a fortune. Okay, you talk about companies who make money, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. If your company doesn't make money, it's crap. Close it down, start another business. Or if you see a direction you want a company to go in and you need to scale it to get to the point where it makes money, do that. Look at Jeff Bezos and Amazon, for example. It didn't make money for years, okay? Chainlink makes money hand over fist because it takes a fraction of a transaction, okay? If any of you remember Superman 3 with Richard Pryor, he would take all those little tiny bits of transactions out of the bank and he became a millionaire out of it, okay? So it's not about making $500 a transaction. It's about making a thousandth of a cent per transaction. That's where the money is. Now, they have partnered to move into tokenization of assets in the UAE. Tokenization of assets is where you basically take a building that's worth $10 million and you turn it into a tokenized asset on the blockchain where each one is worth $10. And then if that office block earns a yield, that yield gets converted into stable coins and there is a yield paid to the people that hold the $10 token. Very simple, a lot like stocks and shares or REITs or whatever you want to call them. Now they've moved to Abu Dhabi, a great move. Okay, Chainlink is positioning itself to be another unicorn, another top dog. How do you catch Chainlink? That's what I would be asking if I was a competitor. How do you lay a finger on Chainlink? They've been building for 6 years. And now we're starting to see what they've been building. All of those contacts, all of those conferences they've been to, they've been here and they've met all of those people. And just the networking effect alone for Chainlink is going to scale them massively. And they're going to be huge. And yes, everybody's been frustrated with Chainlink. You know, where are these deals? Where are these collaborations? They're dealing in the real world. The real world works a lot slower than Web3. You can go to bed on a Friday night and you can wake up on a Monday morning and you can have completely missed Trump or Melania or Libra coin, which went to $30 billion and then zero. You can completely miss it. That's how fast it is. Chainlink has to sign contracts with people, terms of association, they have to sign agreements. All of these things have to go on. It takes forever, but they've done it. Under the MOU, ADGM and Chainlink will foster a dialogue on regulatory matters in blockchain, AI, and other emerging tech. The agreement also outlines a series of events and workshops aimed at educating the UAE ecosystem on key topics relating to blockchain and AI, such as tokenization, cross-chain interoperability, proof of reserves, and emerging blockchain standards. Again, they are there. This is one of the companies I have liked them since I understood them, and I think that's probably the most important way to describe it. Once I understood Chainlink, that is when I realized. Do you ever get a moment where you look at a project or you look at something and you get goosebumps because you realize what the potential of a project is? I have had that very few times. Maybe Jupiter, certainly Chainlink. You look at what it's capable of. Bitcoin, obviously, is the main one. You look at what it's capable of, and then you realize it's not just capable. You're not buying into something based on potential. You're buying into something based on what it's actually going to do. And that's the key. It's not Emperor's New Clothes with Chainlink. A lot of things are Emperor's New Clothes. You'll hear people go on to these podcasts, as I said before, and you'll have some kid in a t-shirt that's got Ramones on it, and he's no idea who the Ramones are. Or he'll have a Nirvana t-shirt and he'll sit there and he'll say, you know, we are re-diversifying the paradigms of everything in Web3 to bring a brighter, more democratic, decentralized future. And it's word salad, right? Chainlink isn't word salad. Chainlink is solid. And I hold a small position. I don't hold a massive position in Chainlink, but I can understand the value of the project. Nil live on all your favorite exchanges in the next hour. Big hyped launch and the first one in a while, so I wouldn't be surprised to see liquidity to move into this and make for an interesting trading environment. I got the airdrop on Binance. I sold it. I just tell you these things because it's what I try and do. There's another airdrop which is coming out today. I'm going to sell that as well. What am I doing with it? I'm converting it all to BNB. Simple. I'm dollar cost averaging into BNB with the airdrops I get from holding BNB. So in terms of what Trump would call it, it's a net neutral investment. It's not costing me anything. I'm just building my BNB position using the airdrops. And nothing really in the last few months that's been airdropped, like the Bubble Maps airdrop, converted to BNB. This I've converted to BNB. Not that I don't like the project, but I prefer BNB more. And if you go out and keep every project under the sun, you'll have 100 tokens. And can you keep an eye on them? Probably not. Nillion network launches on mainnet, providing privacy-focused blind computation for dApps. Again, we'll go back to what I said before about building a democratically decentralized paradigm shift environment. It sounds great, and I'm sure for the tech bros out there, this is fantastic. But if you get a free token and it's airdropped to you, is that it? Then yeah, I wouldn't look at it. Nillion Network has released its mainnet focusing on secure data processing via blind computation. The network's main feature is privacy preserving. I don't want to subscribe. Oh, I'm going to subscribe. All right, won't look at it. Anyway, we're running out of time, so I'll be quick on this one. Sell it, and if it ends up taking off, fantastic. If it doesn't, then you've not lost out. But I've not really regretted selling any of these tokens that I've had airdropped in the last 6 months. I think I've kept one. Ton. I got an airdrop of Ton. That's the one I've kept. But that was a tiny airdrop. That was like 4 or 5 ton. It wasn't a huge amount. I just kept that one. Right then, I suppose we've got 5 minutes left. So I am going to switch to here. Now then, remember what I said a few weeks ago? I said I wanted some questions from the audience. And I got sent a couple of questions. which I am going to cover now, okay? And I haven't got any fancy graphics to bring it up. I think my head sits just about right under here, and I think we're running at the right. It's still rolling in the background. There we go. Well, give me 1 second. Right, there we go. Right then, so quick update for you. We still have a Chronos night to do. It was cancelled from a week last Wednesday, or last Wednesday. It was just to do a Chronos night. And we never did it because we've had thunderstorms upon thunderstorms upon thunderstorms, and everything is wet. Shoes, socks, rain max, everything is soaking wet. Now, on Sunday, it rained, and it hasn't rained since. And now we've got some lovely blue sky. But the rain is going to come back, I believe. So whereas we should have done it tomorrow night, we haven't. And I'm going to bring up the Chronos night so you know what we're talking about, because this is what we do on a Wednesday night, and we do it on Binance and YouTube only. That is what we do. We don't do it anywhere else. We don't stream it on X, although we probably should. We don't stream it anywhere else. Now, I'm just going to very quickly bring up the tweet. It's just taking its time. Give me 1 second to find this, and then we will bring it up on the main screen so you've got some idea of what I'm talking about. I've also made a couple of videos in the last few days. Please go and watch those videos. Nothing we do at this moment in time is getting us views on YouTube, other than me going and bashing Gary Stevenson, which I would have done either way, but I'm not going to start making video bashing. Here we go. Right, so I can bring this up to show you. Now, the reason I'm showing you is you can win prizes. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. So, delayed to the 26th of March, which is tomorrow night. It's not. I'm going to rearrange it for next Wednesday. Storm Conrad flooded us. Not very nice. Now, this is what we are giving away on the night. We will be giving away 3 Monkey Muscle NFTs, 100,000 in Reaper tokens, and 500 million in Papa tokens. That's what we're giving away on the night. Now, all of these projects are on Chronos. All of these projects have pumped today because of the news about Crow and the ETFs and everything else like that. Now, we have a champion amongst us, which is KB. And KB, I believe, is 2 for 2. So the challenge to you, if you compete in this quiz, you have to beat KB. He's the target, okay? He is the Perlo of the midfield. You got to lock him down, okay? Now, we're going to give away 3 or 4 prizes on the night. To win the prize, you need to have a Chronos DeFi wallet. You can still play the game. By all means, you don't need that to play the game. But if you win one of these prizes, then you're going to need to get yourself a wallet to claim those prizes. It's likely to be next Wednesday. And if it is next Wednesday, I'm going to give you all notice about it. It's at 7 p.m. normally, 6 p.m. in the UK. And it's a bit of fun. It's about an hour. It's a bit of fun. Mary always used to win before we became Quid Game, and now KB always wins. It's a circle of life, I imagine. We'll find a way of spreading the prizes around, taking off the time limits, whatever. But that will be next Wednesday, not tomorrow night, because we just don't have enough time. Tariq has a good chance of winning, as he always does. Solo Sky has a good chance of winning. Danny has a good chance of winning, but Danny's not got as good a chance of winning as his wife, Mary. She's got a better chance of winning. We just need to admit that. Mags has got a chance. Jan has got a chance. But what we are going to do on the night is, and this is the reason I'm bringing it up, is the first few that we did, we made it fairly easy. You know, what kind of animal is Mew, the meme coin? And as you can see, if I do that, you can see it's a cat, okay? Simple questions, not anymore. We're going to ask 10 questions. They're all going to be hard. You are probably not going to get 10 correct. You're not going to get all 10 correct. Nobody is going to get 10 correct. I'm going to say this on the night. You are likely to get 7 to 8 of those right. But so is everybody else. There is zero chance KB is going to get every question right. There is zero chance that Tariq or Danny or Mags or anybody out there, Kishan, there's zero chance you're going to get any of them right, because we're going to ask very specific questions about each community. How difficult am I making them? I'm making them hard enough for KB to not be able to win, but I'm not making them impossible. I'm not going to ask you what is the shoe size of Dave, the creator of Reaper, for example. It's not going to be that difficult, but it might be a question about how many Reaper NFTs are there, or how many Papa tokens are in circulation, or what was the other one? Monkey. Well, what's the floor price of the Monkey Muscle NFT project? You'll probably be able to have an educated guess at them, of course, but you're in the time you're given, you're not going to be able to get them all right. Well, it's not this Wednesday, Mags. It's the Wednesday after. I'm not doing it this week because I think it's going to rain again. And the thing is, we're not going to melt in the rain, but we have to carry microphones, cameras, laptops. We've got these little magic boxes that you can press buttons on that change scenes and stuff like that. We've got all of that kit, and it's a few £1,000s, a few €1,000, a few $1,000. We really don't want it to get soaking wet, bringing it down and bringing it back. So, and when we get rain here, it rains. It's not like a shower in the UK. It's like a tropical thunderstorm. It's like, 10 centimeters of rain in an hour type of rain. So it won't be this Wednesday. It'll be the Wednesday after. I will put it out there. So no need for us to join, since KB will... he's not going to know all the answers, Tariq. There's no way he will get all the answers right. That's why I've done it. 10 questions is 4 more than normal, but they're all specific questions. There's going to be 4 lots of questions about Wolf Swap, Papa, Reaper, and Monkey. And then there's going to be some questions about the Chronos chain. Now, the chances of anybody watching this getting all 5 of those sets of questions right are very slim. So there's 2 on each. You're never going to do it. So the chances are you might guess one and get it wrong. You might guess one and get it right. But the reason we're doing 10 is so we do see somebody get 6 or 7 right, somebody get 5 or 6 right. We don't want, like we did in the previous ones, like I think 6 or 7 of you got every question right. In fact, I think you could probably count on one hand how many people didn't get all the questions right. And that's not much of a quiz. So we're going to make it hard. We're going to make it hard, and we're going to make sure that you have a chance of winning, but maybe, maybe you don't get them all right. So if you don't get them all right, by the end of, it's one of those things, Liverpool go and win the Premier League. They didn't win 38 matches. They won enough to get enough points to beat the person in second, or the team in second. And that's what this is. If you get 7 out of 10, you are likely to be in the top 3 or 4. That's how I've done it. I've done it in a way. And for those of you that don't know, I used to write quizzes. Many years ago, probably 30 years ago, I used to write quizzes. And they were on all sorts of things. So I am used to writing quizzes with easy and hard questions. So, but I don't ask impossible questions. I'm not going to ask you all, for example, I'm not going to ask you all, what is Tariq's favorite crypto token, for example, because only Tariq would know that. I'm not going to ask you what is KB's largest crypto holding. Not going to ask those kind of questions. They're not going to be impossible that you can't look up. If you had an hour, you'd get all 10 right. But you don't, you'll have a minute a question. So anyway, I think I've waffled on enough. Thank you everybody for watching. Solo Sky, Cyberpunk, Danny Mags, Tariq, KB, Jan, everybody else. Thank you all for coming. I am back tomorrow. See you all on Wednesday. Take care.